Pattaya 105 Property Show, sponsored by Compass Real Estate.
Welcome back to the show, guys. Taking us to 20 minutes to the hour, 5 o'clock. Dave Buckley in the studio and Lawrence from Compass Real Estate live down at the 105 studio. Talking Pattaya, talking Bangkok, talking Thailand, talking property. That's what we do down here. And we're going to kick straight back in, Lawrence, of course, as well as considering the infrastructure improvements. I mean, what's happening?
Well, I mean, we were just talking there about, you know, all these developers moving here and sort of the oversupply, and the biggest challenge to that is can the infrastructure keep up with it, really? You know, nobody wants to live in a city where it's congested and they can't get the water and the electricity. So obviously this is something which needs to be thought out very carefully with so much building and construction investment going on here, and this is going to be the sort of the biggest hurdle that Pattaya faces, really. Absolutely. I mean, it's at the moment it's sort of acceptable, but I would imagine by all the buildings that are going up, that in the future it's going to get a little bit congested, Dave.
Yeah, I think a few of us remember the 2 or 3 days that they declared a holiday to try and combat the flooding problem, and quite a few Bangkokians came down here, and my recollection is that the place was pretty much gridlocked.
It was.
All right, you know, we're not talking about that long term. We're not talking about that happening all the time. But I think the last impact we need is that the traffic jams of Bangkok moved out to Pattaya. We're very welcoming to the Bangkokians, and the developments that they bring with them.
Yeah.
But that's one thing that we don't really want.
Absolutely, and of course,
I think they are taking, you know, steps are being put in place to try and, you know, tackle this congestion. Obviously, there's the improvements to Sukhumvit Road with this sort of underground carriageway. Then that's obviously going to ease congestion quite considerably. But that's a few years away now. And what
about high-speed train? Of course.
Well, yeah, there's the high-speed train link from Bangkok going to Tra, I think it is. And obviously that will take a lot of people off the Sukhumvit Road who can then use the high-speed rail link. And, you know, only 40 minutes you can jump on the train and get down to Pattaya. So yeah, definitely something which will help to ease the congestion.
Would you agree with that, Dave?
Well, I attended a sort of a discussion on the high-speed rail link, and I asked a ministry man to tell me which he thought was more likely to happen: the high-speed rail link or the extension of the overground down from the airport.
Right.
And he said the extension from the airport was more likely to happen. He didn't say the other one wouldn't happen, but in terms of, you know, speed and I guess ease of construction, I think the extension of from the airport down to Pattaya is a you know, more likely winner.
And of course, they're going to spend around about 600 million baht, of course, at the terminal, aren't they? The Utapao.
Yeah, changing the Utapao terminal so it can accept the international flights. Again, it's going to bring people straight direct rather than having to go to Suvarnabhumi and thus take people off the Sukhumvit Road. So again, it's going to help for sure.
What about the thing? I mean, what I did read, Lawrence, in what you brought in today, Pattaya City plans to widen the road along the beach.
Yeah, I think. Well,
I mean, is that going to be easy to do?
As Dave was touching on there, you know, there's a lot of ideas that are floated, but not always implemented. But yeah, there are plans to extend the actual the beach on Pattaya Beach, and also with it extend the beach road, which for sure anyone who goes down there at night would know how congested it is, and extending that would be a great thing. But
it'd be nice to drive both ways down it.
Absolutely, I think it's.
Yeah, I think implementing it is another.
I would have said, Dave, that it's probably one of those things that are easier said than done.
Yeah, I mean, imagine the traffic horrors it would create if they sort of started digging up Beach Road, and I mean, you know, we get congestion when they close it for a rock concert or whatever, you know. So
it's amazing just by closing one little
what you
bit.
wish for, I think, is
I think you know, all these infrastructure improvements are going to have the knock-on effect in the short term as well. You know, whatever they do to implement it to improve it for the long term is ultimately going to.
I mean, the beach side of it, I can sort of go with on that one. I mean, they say there's an estimated cost of around about 338 million baht, and this will involve transport of sand from Rayon all the way down to here.
I did read that.
I can see that, but
I read that even if they do that, about every 7 or 8 years thereafter, they'd have to
redo it again. Surely,
because of the erosion.
Yeah. So,
and I mean, the tide is coming in pretty close. I would imagine that it's going to be sweeping a bit away.
Yeah, I mean, to anything though that sort of helps to beautify the beach in Pattaya would be very welcome.
But I think wide, and like you said, I mean, I can't see probably the two-way traffic on Beach Road. I don't think that would probably happen. It's a big undertaking.
Yeah, but it's not easy to get around, and to be able to sort of do that, I think would be quite important.
And like you say,
at some stage,
as soon as somebody puts a stage down there on Beach Road and says, "Hey, we're going to have a rock concert," the whole system sort of goes out the window, doesn't it?
Yeah, and very frustrating. But
never mind.
No one wants to be a sort of killjoy and say, "Let's stop having concerts on the beach." I'm not advocating that at all.
No, I think that it's a big task to come forward, but I think things will be put into place, and I think it will happen over a period of time. But what's happening now, Dave, of course, is that the Real Estate magazine, and it's looking different.
Well, this month it looks a little bit different. The cover, just for a change. I mean, normally I feature a property, a development, usually an architect's rendering or whatever. But this month we went a bit different. My friends at Matrix decided that they wanted to be a bit different, and they were happy to just see that their Art on the Hill development would be quite small on the cover, because they wanted to project this, a lifestyle. Let's be honest.
I personally think, and probably you'll agree as well, Lawrence, I mean, that's probably one of the best covers that I've seen from Real Estate, and that's not being biased by any means. I mean, I just think that it makes the magazine look a lot more classy and nice.
I think it's a great cover, and I think it's also touching on a kind of great topic there as well. I think it's actually quite clever marketing, really, if you look at it from that point of view.
Yeah.
Obviously talking about Pratumnak becoming the sort of Beverly Hills of Pattaya, and it's already regarded as quite an upmarket sort of residential district, and I think that cover really ties in with that.
So what about the features in the magazine, though, David? Is there any changes in the magazine? We spoke a long time ago together on another airwaves in another life. But I mean, since then, I mean, since days of old, I mean, how has it changed? How has it evolved?
Well, I took over the magazine just over 2 years ago now, and at the time we'd recently stopped the WhatsApp that you and I used to discuss, and about January of last year I decided to put a living section in the back of the magazine rather than print a separate little magazine like WhatsApp. Part of the reason was that I was talking to people and they were saying, well, I've got a house and I'm really settled and I don't think I'll need another house, so what do I need to pick up a real estate magazine for? And I wanted to sort of to be inclusive and get them back in.
Well, I think it's a nice little touch, because at the back of it you've got the coffee break section, and I've looked at the puzzles and I can't do any of them, so I'm going to be skipping over that page.
No, I must confess that some of our quizzes and puzzles are a bit sort of smart-ass, frankly. Showing what we know and what or what we've researched is probably more accurate.
I think it's a good magazine, because I mean, some of the magazines that are around, of course, you pick them up and they're just pages and pages and pages and pages of advert, and it's very, to the eyes, it's very sort of tiring, whereas yours sort of goes from it goes up, down, side, it goes every way, and it keeps it interesting.
Well, I try and break it up. I mean, don't get me wrong. Yeah, we have plenty of adverts in the magazine. Otherwise, the magazine wouldn't exist.
But it's the way that you do it is the key.
There's a thing in publishing at the moment. It's been around for years that everyone wants a right-hand page. The number of times I get asked for a right-hand page, well, I can't count anymore. But so I've almost produced what I call a left-hand editorial magazine.
Right, which makes sense.
If you look through it, most of the editorial pages is
on the left, and everybody else is on the right, which is.
And I try and put as much editorial in as I can, as economics permit.
Yeah.
Because a lot of advertisers like to be opposite.
But I also think it's good to pick up a magazine like this, like I said, that looks very nice, and probably Lawrence agree with me. You've got your guys in their adverts and that, but also you've got editorial in there, which the likes of like Lawrence would read.
Well, yeah, exactly. I think Dave touched on it. It's got to be something you want to read other than just about property. If it was just about property, then it would just be a magazine full of adverts. Obviously, people do want to see those adverts as well. They want to see what's on offer.
Yeah.
But offering them something else to gather their interest is what people want to read, really.
I get people in the trade. I think they mean it as a compliment, but they say, I always read it in the loo. And I'm thinking,
that's a compliment, Dave.
Right,
take it from me, that's a compliment.
That's a compliment.
If your magazine is in the loo, you've broke it, mate. That's it. Don't even think about turning back.
No. It's just, as I say, I think they do intend it as a compliment, but
it's the guys out there.
Sort of start checking the paper and thinking, no, I don't think they'll do it. Anyway,
it's the guys outside the loo that are scared, mate. I'm telling you. If your paper's in there,
I do get a lot of good feedback, and it seems to, some people sort of regard it as their sort of real estate Bible or whatever you want to call it, but. Certainly within the trade, I get a lot of nice responses. And
it's definitely one that I read on a weekly basis. It's got great editorials in there, great news from across Pattaya, and it's not overloaded. It's not overloaded.
Well,
with adverts.
that's the key, isn't it? That's what we're touching on. It's not overloaded.
The Pattaya 105 Property Show, sponsored by Compass Real Estate.
Welcome back to the show, guys. Just taking us down to 10 minutes past the hour, 5 o'clock. You were Lawrence in the studio, and Dave Buckley's here today from Real Estate Magazine with me, Dave D, in the studio all the way through today, and it's never ending, it's never stopping. But, of course, Lawrence from Compass Real Estate, we've had a question in. Lawrence. So I'm going to put you right on the spot. It says, what makes Compass different from your average real estate? Lawrence, please.
Ooh. Well, I mean, first of all...
And that's from my mum.
First of all...
That's from Lawrence.
Yes.
I mean, there's a lot of things that we do which are different, but, saying that, there's a lot of good agencies in this town. So some of the things that we do, obviously a lot of the agents do, but I can tell you what we do that makes us a good agency. Our first priority is to work for the customer and to listen to that customer and actually find out what they want. I think something that's often overlooked when selling property is just the need to sell property. Really, you've got to remember it's ultimately customer service. Trying to find out what their needs are and trying to match the right property and get them their sort of ideal home, really. So we really try to put that at the focus of what we do. I'd say one thing that makes us stand out from a lot of agencies is the way that we work with developers. So we have quite a unique relationship with a lot of developers. We work sort of hand in hand with them. We've been appointed sole agents for probably Pattaya's most successful project, the Atlantis Condo Resort, where we sold 900 rooms in just over 4 months. And we do a lot of research for them, we do a lot of research with them, and we actually help them develop the product. So we sort of use our insight, use our knowledge to actually help the developers, and at the same time, obviously, the developers are helping us.
Absolutely. Number one on the list, and of course Dave's going to agree with us. Listen to your customer, Dave.
Oh, yeah.
Absolutely, yeah,
except for when they tell me something I don't like.
Now, of course...
But listening to the customer, listening to the developers as well. Because
absolutely.
They're the guys that these people are buying the condos from. So the closer that we can work with them, and we can help both parties, we can help the developers sell a better product, and we can help the customer get a better product.
So now you've got your office in Pattaya, and now you're opening an office in Bangkok. So have you got to go around Bangkok and basically meet these developers and talk to them and sort of make friends there? Whatever. What's the process?
Well, we've already established a lot of relationships with the existing Bangkok developers, but a big focus of our Bangkok office is to sell property in Pattaya. So we're using our knowledge from the Pattaya developers to sell to people in Bangkok. Right. But at the same time, we are obviously selling properties in Bangkok as well. So it does make us unique in another respect that we're working on those two different markets and trying to find some synergy between the two.
And of course, you are different with your marketing.
Yeah, I think it's probably one area we stand out. Our office is based on Sukhumvit Road, so we don't focus on getting those walk-in customers. We really focus on marketing properties over the internet. We use different property portals, websites. We also have a team of people who hand out actual leaflets at places like Tesco Lotus, Big C Extra. We have our booth in Central, which is going really well. So yeah, lots of different ways that we actually get those properties out there.
And of course, you've also got some innovative techniques as well, haven't you?
Yeah, I mean, we try to do things a little bit different, use the sort of latest technologies. So, you know, we geotag properties when we take those listings.
What is it? What is that? What is geotagging properties? What is that?
It's basically taking an exact map reference of the exact location of the property. It's very easy to pinpoint a property on a map, but you're not going to get the exact location.
Right.
And a lot of actual agencies steer clear of that because they don't want people knowing exactly where the property is. But that's somewhere we're a little bit different. We're also looking at introducing sort of laser measurements to get exact room measurements. And obviously we use lots of different internet marketing techniques.
Absolutely, and you definitely have a great team working down there at Compass, though, don't you, all together?
Yeah, we've got a great team of staff, all with a lot of experience and knowledge in the local market, and we really try to work together. I think in a lot of agencies, it's kind of every man for themselves. But
it's not all take, is it? I mean, down at Compass, it's not all take. You've got a good management team down there. You've got some good guys down there.
Of course.
They're playing all the money back into it, aren't they? They're doing it right.
Our model is really putting what money we generate back into the company to grow the business. So we're not looking to take money out of the company and put it in our pockets. We're looking to expand the company, and we're looking to make Compass the best real estate agency in Thailand.
Now, talking of techniques, I mean, I've got to say this, haven't I, Dave? Because I mean, I did when you said it earlier on. I mean, Dave Buckley from Real Estate Magazine has now gone on to Facebook.
Yeah. Been dragged kicking and screaming into this century. I mean,
it's a good move, Dave. It's a really good move.
Soon I'll even probably have a proper website. But say it softly.
But that is Real Estate Magazine Thailand.
I'm a journalist who was raised on hot metal setting, and you know, it's all this stuff over the internet is. It's a bit new to me in the sense of, making
Dave.
the most of it.
It's all right, Dave. You just bear with us. We don't feel sorry for you. But going on to Facebook, it's a great move. It's Real Estate Magazine Thailand, isn't it? So there you go. You can drop Dave a line on there and
get on the site and like me.
Please like me. Talking about condominiums, then. I mean, we've had a couple of questions in. I mean, how are condominiums managed, Lawrence? I mean, what's the criteria of that? I mean, how does that work?
Right, well, it's quite a wide-ranging question, really. I mean, condominiums are ultimately regulated by the Condominium Act in Thailand, which is the law which governs condominiums. But ultimately, condominiums are managed by the juristic entity of that condominium, which sort of lays out the rules and regulations that go with living in that condominium. Do you want a bit more than that?
I do, yeah. I'm intrigued.
I mean, you know, every condominium has a juristic entity where you have a manager who's appointed to basically run the day-to-day operation of the condominium. So look after the security, look after the cleaning, look after the maintenance of the building, make sure all the bills are paid, etc.
And we did say that the owners of the condominiums basically get their own committee together, don't they?
Yeah, that's right. Once the development's completed, the developer will contact all the owners of the condominium, who will then form a committee of members, 9 members. They then direct the juristic entity. So I suppose the answer to the question is that you manage the condominium. You know, the people who own the condominium are the ones who essentially manage it.
Do you think that's a good thing, Dave?
Well, really what I wanted to say was that I've sort of noticed, and I'm sure others in the industry have, that we're seeing more and more of condos being launched in conjunction with a hotel,
right.
and the hotel will manage it. You know, how this sort of sits with the juristic committees, I'm a little uncertain, but you know, I think it's very interesting that more and more are coming to the market and saying, you know, a top name hotel brand is going to be running this show. When we've finished it and built it, you know, they're the people that are going to be looking after you. And a lot of people are quite quite attracted towards that, I think.
Would you agree with that, Lawrence?
Yeah, I think that's absolutely right. A lot of people are attracted by this sort of condotel idea. And, you know, you've got the Tulip Group doing it in a big way with Centara Grand and Centara Avenue residents. Obviously, Centara, one of the biggest hotel chains in Thailand, which are managing these buildings. And basically, to touch on what Dave said there with the way that this sits in with the juristic entity, essentially the hotel is appointed as the management, as the juristic entity. Well, they're still ultimately directed by the committee of members who own the building. But it's that sort of professional hotel style managed
which is attractive.
Which is attractive because people know that the building's going to be looked after into the future, which is a problem with a lot of older.
I would imagine if you've got the guys in the condominium and they've got their own committee and a guy sitting at the head of the table and they don't like him, surely they can vote him out.
Yeah, they can vote him out, but I mean, there's all sorts of problems. A friend of mine has recently sort of started to look after a housing estate, actually on the Siam Country Club here, and you know the day in and day out problems that people are putting to him. You think, you know, I didn't really realise this when I took this on.
Yes, it's a big undertaking.
Yes, you can vote out the chairman or all the members or whatever, but you've still got to replace them. And the fact is, that one of the biggest problems that people face nowadays is that people aren't paying their money into the juristic committee to use.
Right.
You know, and that's where declines of
so that's why the hotel side of it is looking a bit more attractive.
To me, I think that's what makes it a little bit more attractive.
Okay.
Not that people
Falls and against.
You know, I think people still could refuse to pay their money, but we'll see.
Yeah, I mean, obviously, you know, the management fees and the sinking funds are what essentially, you know, without any money, it doesn't matter who you appoint to manage the condominium or even a housing estate. You need that money to pay for these day-to-day upkeeps.
Absolutely.
So, I mean, the management fee is paid on a yearly basis. The sinking fund, which I think a lot of people, when I say that to them, kind of get confused, think it's something for subsidence or something. But it's actually a reserve fund which is paid initially when the development is built, and it basically acts as a reserve if say in 10 years' time the elevators break down, etc. They'll use money from that reserve fund. And I think this is one of the underlying problems, the sinking fund, because if people pay a very low amount into a sinking fund at the start of a project, it causes problems sort of 10 years down the line when that sinking fund runs out. So people often say to me when they're looking at a new condominium, oh, well, that sinking fund's very high. But they're looking at it as a negative thing.
Reassured by that,
when they should be looking at it as a positive thing. Because as Dave mentioned, it's quite difficult to go back to people and then get all that money
again.
But if you've got it at the start, it's sort of a good
in the
basis
bank
to go forward with.
Yeah, and also it's reassuring. All right, stay with us on 105. We'll come back with Lawrence, and I believe you got some hot properties today for us as well. Yeah.
The Pattaya 105 Property Show, sponsored by Compass Real Estate.
Thanks for joining us across FM and, of course, the website, of course, www.pattaya105.com, facebook.com/Pattaya105, and welcome to the Property Show, and thanks for all you guys out there listening and sending your comments today. But first up is Lawrence from Compass Real Estate, and you've got some hot properties.
As always, Dave, we've got some hot properties.
Hot, hot, hot.
So shall I kick off?
Away you go, sir.
Right, so the first one we got for you this week, we got a studio down in Jomtien. This one directly on Jomtien Beach in View to Lay 8. A lot of people obviously will know the View to Lay projects, very popular here in Pattaya. This is the latest of their projects, so directly on Jomtien Beach. This one's a 48 square metre studio. And foreign name, fully furnished. Now these are sold by the developer as actual shells, so a lot of people don't want to buy a shell and kit it out themselves, but this one's actually been fully fitted out, fully furnished,
ready to
everything
move into
in there, ready to go, and a very, very good price on this one. So only 2.8 million baht.
Wow, and that's a sea view fully furnished condo. Yeah,
sea view, you know, directly on Jomtien Beach. Very good price for this sort of unit.
Okay, and the house of the week?
Yeah, so we've got a house located on Soi Kautalu in East Pattaya in Ekman Cole 5. Obviously, the Ekman Cole village is very popular as well.
Yep.
It's a 3-bedroom, 3-bathroom. Again, fully kitted out, European kitchen. It's got off-road parking, and again, very, very reasonable price on this one. So that's only 2.9 million baht again.
Seems good for Ekman Cole 5, and like you said, them Ekman Cole projects seem to be very popular.
Yeah, that's right. They're both very, very popular projects. They're both under 3 million baht. So for people not looking to spend too much, looking for either a decent-sized house or a sort of beachfront condo, I think both of them really hit the mark.
And what about the rent? Do we have any?
Yeah, so this funnily enough touches into Dave's cover magazine here about the Beverly Hills of Pattaya, which is Pratamnak, obviously very popular sort of upmarket residential area. And we've got a beautiful house there in Voko Gardens, and it's fully furnished again, 2 bedrooms, 2 bathrooms. It comes with a pool, jacuzzi, and really beautifully furnished inside. Real nice European kitchen. It's got all the works, UBC, cable, alarm system, and this one only 35,000 a month.
Seems a bargain to me, that one does. I mean,
Pratamnak, the houses down there are quite expensive. Beverly Hills of Pattaya. So
you sold me on the jacuzzi bit.
You like a jacuzzi?
I like a jacuzzi. What about condos then?
Yeah, so condos, we've gone for a city centre one this week in Nova Atrium. Very reasonably priced for a 76 square metre, 1-bedroom unit, 2 bathrooms in this unit.
Fair size, isn't it? 76 square metres.
It is a fair size, and it's a great location. Only sort of 400 metres from actual Pattaya Beach, right next door to Big C down there. And this one only 25,000 a month, and that's probably even on a 6-month lease. If you're looking for a year lease, we could probably get that down quite considerably. And
we've got to put in there that this building, of course, includes a fitness centre. It's got
the full works, fitness centre, sauna, swimming pool, 24-hour security, parking, etc. So if you're looking for a nice sort of large 1-bedroom in the city centre, which are quite hard to come by in this sort of
as
price
we said
bracket,
before,
then this is the one for you.
Sounds absolutely great. You always deliver on time, but sort of talking delivering, and I was going over to Dave here, and that is some of the up-and-coming areas of Pattaya, Dave. I mean, we were talking about it in the break.
Oh, I'm interested in Lawrence's take on this. I mean, obviously he's heavily involved with the Atlantis on Second Road in Jomtien. It seems to me that road is just really taking off as far as developers wanting to develop it. A comment I made off air was that they're not making any more beach, and it seems to me that this second road, and if you're in the right place, it is a walk through to the beach. Seems to be really taking off.
Yeah, exactly. I think the key thing there is, they're not making any more beach, and central Pattaya, sort of North Pattaya, Wongamat has been so heavily developed now that developers just can't really find the land to do these projects anymore. So everyone seems to be moving south, heading into Jomtien, Na Jomtien, and I think we touched
even down towards Bangsaray.
Yeah, exactly. We touched on at the start of the show the developers looking in Bangsaray, Banampur, and so much development going on along that Jomtien second road. There must be 6 or 7 new projects down there that just in the last few months, and plenty more on their way as well.
And an untouched nice area as well.
Yeah, the thing is,
we've got to put that in.
It's got good infrastructure down there now.
Yeah,
obviously.
absolutely.
With that road, it's just changed the whole the area.
Yeah, the new Jomtien second road now the bottom's been finished with repair. It's actually a very nice road. The pavements are being upgraded down there as we speak. All the electrical cables going underground there, proper street lamping going along that road. And when you're based around that second road, whichever side you're on, you're only a couple of 100 metres from the beach, so within walking distance.
I think it's a good move when they start to put the cables underground, because I always say, you've got a great, fantastic looking place, put all these cables across the front. Once they start bringing them underground, which they are doing, and they are going that way, I think it's a big plus.
It makes the area look a lot nicer. The street lamps down there make it a lot safer to walk at night. And I think, as that area develops, it's going to be a very nice area in years to come. Obviously, you've got the sort of big projects like Centaura Grand going up in Na Jomtien. Lots of development going on down there. Nam Talay going up down there as well. The developers definitely seem to be moving south, and it's ultimately because of the availability of land down there, which allows people to buy these sort of condos in the 1 to 3 million.
But also,
price
Lawrence,
range.
of course, as they're moving down there, and of course that's like a little bit of untouched area. Let's put it like that. It's a bit of untouched. As they're building down there, of course, they can do the infrastructure at the same time to suit it. Surely.
Well, yeah, that's right. You know, they can't build down there without the infrastructure. But it's giving the city council a chance to really do it a little bit better this time.
Yeah.
You know, I know the mayor has commented several times that he wants Jomtien to be a sort of family resort destination. And I think the way that they're building the second road and putting in the infrastructure around there sort of ties into that.
Just makes it all that a little bit nicer, doesn't it? A bit of infrastructure.
Yeah. Well, you know, they've got a chance to get it right, haven't they?
They have, definitely.
Yeah.
The Pattaya 105 Property Show, sponsored by Compass Real Estate.
Welcome back, guys, to the Property Show on 105. In the studio, we have Lawrence from Compass Real Estate and Dave Buckley from the Real Estate Magazine. And it's time to say goodbye. It's time to say thanks to the guys for joining us down here today. Enjoyed it, Dave?
Yeah, lovely. Invite me back when my Facebook likes go over the 1,000 mark, okay?
Well,
I'll put a like
We'll
on
see.
that.
That'll be about 2014, won't it?
15 years' time, yeah?
Now, the Real Estate Magazine, I mean, like I said during the break, if anybody wants to get their hands on it, whereabouts can we normally find it?
Well, it's actually, it goes on sale in Bookazine, would you believe? But, you know, in Pattaya, you can pick up a copy free at most of the, what I call the Farang type supermarkets, like Foodland and Food Mart, places like that.
Okay, so, and also, if you're looking for it this month, of course, just look out for the Real Estate Magazine. It's got Beverly Hills on the front, it's got a Lamborghini, it's a nice cover, it's the first of many, I would imagine.
Well, I hope that's the way it turns out, but I know for certain next month I'll have a nice big project back on the front cover again.
Good.
You'll definitely find one in our office, Dave. So if anyone wants to pick up a copy or a coffee, then come down and
pick up a
grab
coffee or a copy at Lawrence's at the Compass
Free
Real Estate.
coffees.
Free coffees. Dave, it's a pleasure to see you again. It's nice to see your face. It's been a long time, but it's a pleasure to have you down here, and hopefully we'll get you here again and do something.
See how we get on, yeah.
I'm sure that your
I'd like to
Facebook
come back
likes.
sometime.
I'm sure that your Facebook likes will go through the roof. Lawrence, it's a pleasure.
Yeah, it's always a pleasure, Dave.
And I'll be seeing you same time, as they say, same place.
Same time, same place.
Next week with some more hot properties and, of course, some more info on the property status in Thailand and Pattaya itself, all right?
Yeah, well, one thing I did want to mention just before we go, Dave, is we're actually recruiting still. We're looking for some more staff. We're looking for some administration assistants.
Okay.
So if anybody knows of any friends or partners who are interested in an administration position with Compass, then they can get in touch with me directly. My email address is lawrence@compasspattaya.com, or they can send it to office@compasspattaya.com. Or they can give me a call. My number is 0800 958 854. That's 0800 958 854.
Or simply just go down to
Or
the
pop down
Compass.
to the office,
Yep.
located on the Sukhumvit Road between Pattaya Thai and Pattaya Klang.
All right, great. Go down there, contact Lawrence, and maybe he'll have something for you there. If it's not a property, it might even be a job. You never know.
You never know, Dave.
Yeah, man of many
Or a
means
coffee.
and free coffee. Dave, Lawrence, thanks for joining me on the Property Show today. It's been absolutely great, guys. Thanks for coming into the 105 studio.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thanks.